welcome to Guys, a podcast about guys. I am Brian. I am really depressed about Chris's screen name on here because I was going to call him Jar Jar Binks. But look at that.
My screen name is Chris Banks for anyone who's listening, which is everybody. I didn't know, man, and had I known that, you could have told me. I would have changed it or whatever. I would have accepted it. You know, Wouldn't I love when you
Wouldn't have worked that way.
Well, I'll say something. I don't know a lot about Star Wars. Like, I know a normal amount, but one thing I've noticed is there's like some people now are like, Jar Jar's actually good.
I've seen that, yes. Let's get our guest on here. Somebody who, Mitch, I have listened, to Doughboys forever. I know you have Star Wars opinions. And I want to say this, and I hope it doesn't bum you out at all. One guy said Mitch is the worst possible guest for Star Wars guys.
That's perfect. That means that you should have me on as the. Yeah. I mean, I agree with that guy. He's right.
Well, I said that's what makes him the perfect guest for guys, because it's not like we're not giving our opinions on Star Wars. We're making fun of guys that like Star Wars too much.
Yes.
It's perfect.
Which has changed. I think it's changed a lot over the last. Star Wars guys have changed a lot. We're just everyone is a Star Wars guy, sadly.
Well, that's the sad part about doing this episode is I know people are going to scream at me to the point where I might even make a disclaimer for the beginning of the podcast, because I'm like, I'm not getting to everything. It's an unlimited source that, like, I have double what I usually have in the doc for the episode. I'll never get to all that. And I didn't get to, like, a lot of stuff, like, it is just, it's mind-blowing. These people are crazy. First of all, they're crazy. And
I mean, saying Star Wars guys like saying porn guy or something. There's so many different levels. There's so much. You could do it for. You could do it for a whole year to cover every single Star Wars guy.
Somebody mentioned, like, you could do Star Wars toys guys. You could do Star Wars books guys. You could do Star Wars. And it's like, that's probably like what I should have done, but it feels weird to do that. I don't like to parcel it off that much. I'm not going to do Star Wars guys next week. If I do it again, it'll be later. But these guys, I just saw all the movies in 2021, I think.
You watched them all in a row?
Yes, I watched them all in a row. Not only did I watch them all in a row, but I started at episode 1 and watched.
I remember we talked about this. I asked you what order so you did it in, like, not in chronological order of the actual events of Star Wars.
Yes. And my favorite one, part 3, Revenge of the Sith.
Is that considered a bad one?
See,
I don't even really know.
It's awesome.
Now, Mitch, so why do people say that about you to do this? Is what I know about your relationship with Star Wars.
I mean, it has to be that he hates.
Okay. So you're not a big fan.
That is a part. I am an annoying Star Wars guy myself. I mean, that I think that's the part of the reason why. But I hate the Disney Star Wars. I never. Once Force Awakens came out, I was over for me. So that's after Disney bought it from Lucas. But I think people don't like prequel defenders, which I have become. Even though I see a lot of there's some faults in the sequels. Also, enough about Jar Jar. He's got Chris Binks shows that you know enough about Jar Jar.
Listen, I've seen the movies. I want to be so. This is my relationship to it is that. And by the way, I saw just very recently. I watched a Birthday Boys sketch where you guys are talking about Star Wars.
Oh yeah,
do you know the sketch I'm talking about?
Oh, it's the Star Wars. Yeah. That was.
Is there only one? Okay,
wrote that. And I'm in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is but it really truly had me laughing out loud. Genuinely hilarious. But my relationship to Star Wars is like, my dad was so into Star Wars. Like, it was his favorite shit ever. When I was a little kid, he had them on like VHS tapes, like recorded from somewhere. I don't know if he like dubbed it from another tape or got it from TV or whatever. But I remember like watching those, and I had a lot in common with my dad. We shared a lot of interests, and I obviously wanted to do stuff with my dad. So I'd like go to the new Star Wars movies with him. And I was kind of like, I was enjoying my time with my dad, but as a teenager, or whatever, I was kind of like, you're into this stuff, like you actually.
I did that. My dad introduced me to him when I was a little kid, and you know how I am with my dad. I was like, there ain't no way I'm gonna like the same stuff as you, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's
your
why
dad likes totally normal pornography for what?
That's the main thing about him is I like different kinds of pornography, not just women with jugs.
Yeah, I feel like it makes a little bit of sense because I think like my dad's generation, I think it was like when Star Wars came out, it was like insane, right? It was like the first movie like that was like really took the world by storm. So I think it kind of makes sense people of a certain age being really into the original Star Wars movies, like that sort of tracks for me. But yeah, I struggled with it definitely. And like, I think the last one that I saw was Harrison Ford in one of them as an old guy.
Yeah.
And he's running around.
In Force Awakens, he comes back as the old guy. He's back as himself.
Yeah. That one I struggled with because
as Han Solo, to be clear.
Yeah, not as Harrison.
Not just some separate old guy.
Now that I would like. I would like it if he said, "I'm actually Harrison Ford."
Harrison
not
Ford. I was
Solo."
playing a character. Well, and that's what he listen. I love his interviews about it, where they ask him about it, and he's like, "I don't fucking care. I don't know what you're talking. I don't know any of that stuff."
But he was so checked out towards the end, and also like he almost was killed in Force Awakens. Like the Millennium Falcon door, like almost like closed on his leg or something crazy, and like broke his leg. Like it did feel like Star Wars killed Carrie Fisher and then almost killed Harrison Ford at the end there. So Mark Hamill, I guess, was just fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's still out there. He's still out there posting AI memes all day and all night.
Harrison Ford is just so old. Yeah. Hamill is posting AI all the time.
He's the most AI poster guy because I looked at him yesterday because he hornily replied to Kat Abu. I can never get her name right. She ran for office, but he was like, be really cool if you followed me back or something like that to her. So I ended up on his page and I was like, this guy loves AI. Like it was like him and Princess Leia and Han Solo standing in the it was him and Princess Leia and Han Solo standing in the green reflecting pool. Like it was I believe Sarla.
He's posting AI of himself
as
one of his old
Star
characters.
Wars related.
Oh. Like, hey, I can this machine just makes me look. It's like I can put my old self when I look the way I wish I still looked. Like I can put that in any situation I want now. I can see the appeal of that. All I was saying was that Harrison Ford looked so old and he was running around, and it was hard to watch him because he was doing all these like running scenes, and he was like an elderly man. He was like a grandpa, and I just thought that was like mean or unfair to him to even put him in the movies at that point. Yeah,
it is. It's mean to all. It is elder abuse-ish, I feel like, for all of them to be in those movies.
Yeah. What you guys are saying, I've been watching Spider Noir.
I watched a bit of that. I kind of, honestly, I didn't get super hooked by it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't get hooked by it.
Can I say Nicolas Cage feels elderly now?
Well, yeah.
We've now moved to elderly Nicolas Cage. Like he's trying to be kind of cool, but like you can he's got old guy voice. Yeah. And it's like, oh man, not Nicolas Cage. And plus he's Spider-Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just even the name of Spider Noir. By the way, that's my cat is. Do you hear my cat?
I hear the cat. I'm a big cat. I love cats.
This is so. I mean, I love cats too, but he just started doing this during. Maybe he doesn't want the episode of Star Wars to be recorded either. I apologize that he's just fucking yelling.
Oh no, I think it's endearing. I think it's very sweet. I don't think anyone's gonna be upset by a cat meowing on a recording at all.
But I have talked about Star Wars, and maybe is some sort of reaction to that I just have talked about Star Wars for so long. And people got so mad at me on Doughboys, my podcast, where I would just be like, the new Star Wars are bad and J.J. Abrams ruined it and everything like that. But a big part of it is like writing these old fucks into these movies, and then
like,
using them in like a horrible way. Like, just use them in a fun.
Let them sit down.
They intertwine them too much into the plot of it.
Like the idea of just like they let Bruce Willis sit down near the end.
Just let people sit
just let
down.
them sit in
If
the
you're
fucking
old,
chair.
like let them sit down in the movie and don't make them run around. I'm serious about that. Like, don't make them run around.
Let's go to the Jedi Council forums, a forum on line for Star Wars fans, and this guy has an interesting question that I was really I'm trying to figure it out. I've been mulling it over in my brain. How did Kylo Ren manage to retrieve every fragment of his helmet after The Last Jedi? Kylo Ren smashed and destroyed his helmet to ruin on the elevator because he was angry that Snoke mocked him for being a child in a mask. Kylo just leaves the shattered helmet on the elevator floor without a second thought. It was later said in the Rise of Skywalker novelization and visual directory that at some point in time he had the shards retrieved from the Supremacy's wreckage, hence why he was able to reforge it with Saracen iron and with Albrecht the chimp dude. The adult novelization says he painstakingly scavenged the shards of the helmet from the wreckage of the Supremacy. My question is, how was Kylo able to retrieve the shards, and why would he need it? He most likely kept the shards for over a year in between Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker before Saracen Iron Refuge. But why would he need them again in the first place? The shards were destroyed, and it's virtually impossible to fix it again until he found Albrecht. Another question.
Who the fuck is Albrecht?
I'll let you answer this one, Mitch. What do you think?
It's so funny to me to like the original Star Wars, like getting into like the lore and what a character did or even mistakes or whatever. But you're talking about like one of the worst movies I've ever seen in the third one. The what is it? The Rise of whatever.
The Rise of Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker. That movie sucks so much. Who cares? It's obviously that they just wanted the helmet back to look good. Who cares?
Logistics. It's funny to watch a movie and be like, what are the logistics of that?
Yeah, it reminds me of the South Park guys or whatever. Like, who's living in Randy Marsh's house when he's like away on, like there's those people who are just, they get like all like caught up in this. I think it's because it's like taken over their whole life. So they're always thinking about it. And then they run out of things to think about that are like legitimate things about it. And then they have to move on to stuff like this. I think they want the new ones to be. They just want them to be good. The new movies. I mean, I think that it amongst everyone who's seen it, I don't know anyone who says Rise of Skywalker is good. Like, I think that was because I was like The Force Awakens and then The Last Jedi. I hated both of those movies, and then I feel like once Rise of Skywalker came out, people came around to like the Disney sequels being bad. But it took that final movie to kind of move people into being like, yeah, I guess who kind of cares? And there are defenders of, there's a lot of people who love Last Jedi and everything like that, but
you almost can't post about not liking the sequels now on the subreddit because people start screaming at you. Like, you can't, it's weird. You can't like post anti-Disney sentiment really without people jumping down your throat about it. It's like, it's fucking Disney, man.
That is the weird thing that happened in the last 20 years where people used to be like, I feel like almost too mean to movies. I was an ain't it cool news reader back in the day. Brian, you were lurking in there, I'm sure, right?
For sure.
People were like so mean about stuff and would be like pretty, and that's where they really attacked the prequels, was on Ain't It Cool News, and it's so weird in 20 years how it's flipped the other way, where people are like so defensive of Disney. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, why do you care about this? Why do you care about this fucking company? Hey, shut the fuck up, Wally. Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
Well, why do you even, it's the same thing with Marvel, really, is that like we've found that saying something mean about Marvel will get you screamed at, which is crazy because it doesn't even seem like anybody likes that anymore.
Yeah, I don't even.
Are Star Wars guys, Marvel, are they one and the same at this point? I guess is another question.
I think what you're describing is that like poptimism movement, where it was like, oh, we all like pop music now. Oh, we all like this. We all like that. When I was growing up, man, like listen, you can like, I don't care if you like Taylor Swift or whatever. I'm not saying anything negative or whatever about people that like that stuff. But when I was growing up, you were a dork if you liked that stuff. Like, people would like make fun of you for liking mainstream stuff.
Yeah.
And now it feels like if you don't like we keep talking about Doomsday on the bonus shows, Avengers Doomsday, about how like we can't figure out. Like, me and Chris have talked about how we can't figure out how long it's going to be. Nearly impossible to figure out how long that movie's going to be. Yeah. And if it's not 4 hours long, then is it going to be a bunch of guys walking up and saying, hey, remember me? And then walking away? Because there's so many people in that movie. Yeah. And, like, people are so excited about it. I'm like... I'm looking at the hype for it, and I'm like, there's no way this is going to be good. This is going to be such a bad fucking movie.
I'm optimistic. I hope it'll be good. I went through a
You're
period.
Optimistic? Are you really? Good.
No, I guess optimistic isn't the correct word. I guess what's the word?
Intrigued.
I mean, I feel like I want it to be good, whatever. And I'm hopeful. I guess hopeful is the word. But I went through a time where I said I like every movie that I go to, but in a different way. I didn't think the movies were good. My point was, hey, it's great to go out and see a movie, just to be able to get out there and see a movie and be out in the theaters and like in that experience. And like you can find something, whether it's that it's really bad and you can laugh at that, or there's some good acting in it, or there's like a couple good action scenes. So I would be really positive about it. But I always recognize that like, oh, this movie that I'm watching, the Eternals or whatever.
I'm like, oh, this Disclosure Day.
Disclosure. Hey, listen, we don't want to bang on Disclosure Day too much. I felt bad when we talked about it on stream, and someone's like, "Oh, I was excited to see it."
Jack Allison had a great pick, and what's funny is like, I think a part of the issue with Star Wars is that every movie, every franchise wants to be Star Wars, is like a part of the thing that's happened now in the world. But Jack Allison had a great pitch on Disclosure Day that it's a secret E.T. movie, that when they reveal the alien at the end that it was E.T., and I was like, that would have made that movie work a little bit more if you just saw E.T. at the end of it. I guess it still would have been pretty bad overall.
Yeah, you still would have had to listen to them say those lines and stuff. But yeah, you're right. At least at the end, you would have been like, oh, shit, okay.
Oh, shit, it's E.T. Yeah, there he is.
I remember that little guy. Yeah.
And so Drew Barrymore was there or whatever. You know what I mean? There's like things that maybe would have made it more fun, I guess. I don't know.
Well, this guy has another question. How did he get the shards? He for sure didn't pick them up after destroying it because, well, what else is he going to do with it now that it's destroyed? He also just left the shards behind, as we clearly see in The Last Jedi. And since he was the one who destroyed it, it would make sense that he is for sure done with the helmet. No way the shards would be left in the elevator, because that's common sense for there to be repairs to the elevator and cleaning up the mess. And we also see Kylo and Rey.
Wait, didn't they killed a character and then brought him back? Like one of the real bad like the what's his name? He like died and then he just came back. The Emperor,
you're
right?
talking about Palpatine. Palpatine is
Palpatine. Back. He just died and then he came back.
Palpatine has returned. That is how they
that's what
write it into the opening scroll. The scroll of
that's what I'm saying. So like, if
but
you're
how
going
do
to accept
that?
bad,
what's the logistics of that
in this world though? Like, do you not recognize that they don't care, that they'll just bring it? Like they don't try to explain all this stuff. How are you getting like? Yeah, this doesn't make sense to me to care this much about this.
Here's the first answer, guys.
Shards are small, so I do get the.
Yeah, it's like
the confusion about it.
If you break like a glass or something, it's like you can get the bigger pieces, but the shards, it's going to be
well, here's the first answer. One has to assume that he or someone picked up the pieces directly after he smashed it. It's a convenient for sure, but it's not a biggie. And I don't think it's on par with Maz having Luke's lightsaber.
Okay, see, some other thing. And some of it's from the fucking adult novelizations and shit.
Don't even. The extended universe, that's an episode because those people are psychos. Because like when Disney took over, they didn't count all those books and all that stuff that was written. as canon, because I think it would make it, I'm not sticking up for Disney, I think it would make it very hard to make a movie without stepping on some of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like they get so mad. This guy goes, I doubt he swept up the pieces himself. That's a job for his flunkies. No doubt said flunkies were from... No doubt said... See, this is the movie I would watch.
Yeah.
Like I think
Kylo
that would be
Ren
way more
being like-
interesting if the janitor of whatever the ship would be fun to see that.
Kylo Ren's like, go get my helmet shards.
And he's just like, oh shit. He's like puts it all back together, but he's still missing a few little pieces. And he's like, what the hell? And he's like going underneath the little, yeah, that would be fucking good.
Here's another one. This is a guy from the same forum asking, R-rated Star Wars possibilities?
Oh man.
Is there a possibility of R-rated Star Wars film coming? There has been rumors about that circulating around some news sources. I don't know if the rumors are going to be true, but I thought we could discuss the possibility. Personally, I think R-rated Star Wars would be perfect for the Old Republic movies and TV shows. What are your thoughts about that?
What do they want in it that would be R-rated?
Well, that is an interesting thing. Not nudity and not cursing.
So
Those are the two things almost every person said. I don't want nudity or sex, and I don't want cursing.
So gory violence, presumably.
That's
then?
all that's left, man.
Yeah, like people getting. But is there's violence, but I guess just not gore, right? There's not like you don't see people like bleeding out and shit like that, or getting. Yeah, you don't see that serious stuff, right?
This guy goes, doesn't seem possible. These films and shows are supposed to be for kids. And then a guy goes, I just think of them as for all members of the family. But all the same, an R rating might not fit that. And then this guy goes, I don't think there's any need for it. Magic and humor are important in Star Wars, even in the darker entries. So it is impossible. But yeah, a lot of these guys are just like, I don't want any nudity. I don't want any cursing, but all the gore. I'll take gore.
I bet
and it's like they made this.
I mean, you could find some people who probably would like to see Star Wars nudity. I bet.
I read some people that like some Star Wars nudity. I read a little bit of erotic fan fiction. Okay. This guy goes, they didn't go to R when they cast Adam Driver off his work on Girls, which baffled him, even because nudity and sex and swearing were basically his role on that show. They won't go R now.
Oh, yeah. This guy just fundamentally misunderstanding how acting works.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, yeah, like, wait, this guy was in a show where there was swearing and sex, and then they cast him for this other thing. And he's just like, wait, you don't want me to have sex and do swearing on this?
If they don't want... But they just want to see, like, we could show, like, Kylo Ren's dick while he's taking a piss or something instead of showing, like, any sort of sex. We could just show, like, some... Which would... I guess it would give it an R rating. You could see something like that, I guess. But...
Yeah.
I know that they're lying to themselves. They don't want anything... What they want is just more Star Wars. I think they just want it to be cooler... than it, which I think Andor is like kind of like the answer to it, right? That's like the more serious, yeah.
I watched the first season and then forgot everything that happened in it. So now I'm like, I gotta watch the second season, but
it's supposed to be good, right? It has really good
It's
reviews.
good, yeah.
Yeah.
This guy got here's one from r/Star Wars. Now this one is one of my favorite things I've ever found. I have one day to show my wife Star Wars and I need help. I get my birthday to watch as much as I can, and she actively does not like Star Wars, Game of Thrones, or Lord of the Rings.
This guy, on his birthday, she just gets to watch as much Star Wars as he wants. I mean, hey, everybody has their own
But she
birthday.
cannot find the same love I have for Star Wars, so my gift from her is to make her watch whatever I want for one day. I have a loose idea trying to mix some Rebels with a couple Bad Batch, most of Obi-Wan, and a few Andors and Rogue One. She has a general grasp of the plot line, but not the characters, if that helps. So I need help from you awesome people to figure out the most important things to watch. Timely, heart-wrenching, story-driven, and most importantly, something that will make her find the same joy and emotion we all feel. Thank you in advance. I want to say...
It's not going to happen.
Yeah. No,
it's not gonna happen. She sounds sweet, and it is like I sort of laughed about it, but that is kind of a nice thing. I know you really love this. I'm not into it, but like on your birthday, I'm gonna watch all of this with you. That is kind of a nice birthday present for a partner to give to the. But she's she doesn't like it now. It's not being like having it rammed down her throat in like mass for an entire day is not going to turn her around on it.
I'm going to go a step further and say that they should divorce, or she should at least cheat on him in some way.
Mitch, they could join the lifestyle.
Yeah, they could join the lifestyle. They could join the lifestyle.
That's fair.
Yeah, that is fair. And it might actually make her hate it more, right?
I'm telling you right now, my wife never makes me watch anything, ever. She has never like, Brian, we're going to watch The Sheep Detectives, because she knows I'm not going to watch The Sheep Detectives. And if she put The Sheep Detectives on, I'd be like, this is fucking stupid through the whole movie.
Yeah,
right?
That's funny.
I can't watch a bunch of sheep talk.
That's funny because the reason I didn't watch The Sheep Detectives is because it's just because I'll say it because you brought up Jack before. It's because the guy who made that movie is the guy who was like got into a big fight with Jack Allison a long time ago about the writers guild stuff or whatever.
Craig Mazin Mazin wrote Cheap Detectives. Who was a guy who is like, I would say in a way is kind of like a bad guy in the WGA. He always tries to, he does The Last of Us, which again, another like they try to make The Last of Us like Star Wars. Like everything has to be like a bigger than it is or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, Mazin wrote The Sheep Detectives, and that's good enough reason not to watch it. But I've heard Sheep Detectives is really great. I
have too, but I'm not going to watch it. The sheep talk.
I don't know if I can watch. I don't know.
I don't know if I could watch it. When I saw it's like listed as a family like children's movie. That's what kind of like I was like. I said I'm not going to go to the theater because I don't want to go watch Craig Mazin. Not just because of the fight with Jack, just because he came off as like a really bad guy and all of that, you know. And I was like, this guy 100%. Seems like a bad guy. But then when it came out on streaming, I was like, gonna give it a watch, and then I was like, it's actually listed as like a children's movie, and it made me feel like a loser to watch it. But I have heard it's good.
I grew up at a time. I am old, so I grew up at a time where adults were like, I ain't watching no goddamn cartoon, and I think that really rubbed off on me when I was young. My dad never watched The Simpsons because he was like, that's for children. That's a children's TV show, and it's like, it's fucking for adults. Like they make it for adults, but parents, old men just couldn't get it in their mind that adults could watch cartoons. And I think that really rubbed off on me. So when something like Sheep Detectives comes out, I'm like, I ain't fucking watching that shit.
Yeah.
Who do I look like?
Did your dad ever check out by any chance? Did your dad ever see a little cartoon called Heavy Metal?
Oh, I watched that growing up because there was a titty in it.
That was when I was a kid. I was like, that was like the fucking.
You'll never guess who had that movie.
Porno Sean.
Oh, yeah. Had a titty in it, man.
Yeah, of course.
This guy first goes, be sure she's fed. Insane thing to say to him.
She's not a dog. She can feed herself, I think.
Hey, make sure you feed her. You know, you can't leave her too long. He goes, saw it at the Alamo and she never got her food. It wasn't until we saw Andor that she finally saw it without hate.
Oh, so this is from a personal experience that this guy had.
Yeah. This guy goes, not to generalize, but women, proven by every woman I know that likes Star Wars, swears by the Mandalorian because Grogu is so cute.
That's so. This is. I think Grogu sucks, and I've said that I like.
Me too.
And people get mad at me for this too because they're so quick to defend Disney again, where they're like, well, people actually created and then they're like, well, George Lucas actually created the Ewoks as like a cash grab because I'm saying that Grogu is a cash grab. And then they're like, so what's the difference? I'm like, yeah, but George Lucas created Star Wars. Like that's where you give the guy who created it should be able to profit off of it in a way or whatever. And also, like, I'm sure that he has so much stupid backstory for it. Grogu is just a baby Yoda. That's all that they wanted out of it. You know what I mean? Like that's, and like, you know, the head of Disney was like, there's my $1 billion baby or whatever, you know, like, and this story else, and no one even cares about Mandalorian Grogu. They get mad at me for saying that fucking puppet sucks, but no one went and saw the movie. Obsession and fucking Backrooms destroyed Mandalorian and Grogu. So why the fuck do you even care? Who cares? Why does anyone care about the fucking thing?
It's true. They just want to defend. They just hate people talking about anything bad about Star Wars or any negativity surrounding it or anything. Because I saw that trailer. And holy shit, it looked fucking bad. I said like the little baby Yoda or whatever. It looks like not a movie. It doesn't look like a movie. Like the way it's moving, the things it's saying, and all. It's just like it seems like a fucking commercial or something, like something you'd see in a little commercial short or something like that. And yeah, it looked so fucking bad. Yeah. I know why people didn't like it. Makes sense that people didn't see it because I go to the movies enough that I saw that trailer like 10 times, a bunch of different versions of it, and it just looked fucking horrible, like unwatchable.
There's no way. I couldn't watch The Mandalorian. I can't watch a guy walk around in a helmet all day. I just can't do it.
That's what when I went and when I saw Mandalorian and Grogu because I am a psycho, I guess, and I just like being unhappy.
I know how you feel.
Truth of it all.
I know how you feel. Yeah, because I'm the same way with the Marvel movies. I already have tickets for Spider-Man, and I don't like any of the movies. I'm gonna hate
that. I like the and this to me is like when people get mad about my Star Wars takes or whatever, and it goes on to Marvel, where like Spider-Man 1 and 2, the Sam Raimi movies are good, and Spider-Man 3, by comparison, Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3 is better than every Spider-Man that came after it. I don't like any of the ones that came after it, and I know that people are like, well, you're just nostalgic. And I'm like, Spider-Man 3 came out when I was like 25 or whatever. I was older. I didn't care that much about it, but I am just like, if you watch that, they are better movies, and I've never cared about the Tom Holland ones at all. I just and this is the same thing with Star Wars. I'm comparatively, like, I remember watching the prequels of the Phantom Menace, and I remember a guy on my football team, Frank McNamara. He was the captain of the football team, and he came in. He was like, "Mitch, did you see Phantom Menace yet?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "It's fucking awesome." And I went and saw it, and I was like, and I did. It was funny because I was like, I did like it. And then when everyone was kind of mean to it, I was like, "Oh yeah, I guess it does suck." And I just kind of was like going along with it. And then when I rewatched Phantom Menace, I'm like, there's so many moments in that movie, like the Darth Maul duel and the pod racing shit, where I'm like, this is better than anything that came in any of the Star Wars after that. Like these moments in those movies are way better, even though there's so much fucking Lucas bullshit that's happening, like with the trade federations, which is timely and it does make sense when you watch it. But like, it's like, for a lot of people watching that, they were sitting there bored.
It was boring.
It was, yeah,
it was boring, but yeah, I think that the Phantom Menace is one with Anakin, right? The little kid, Anakin, right?
And the kid does a bad job, and like the payoff, like, yeah, the kid does bad, but like, he was a little kid, and now he wants to kill himself, I feel, or like has wanted to, like, he's had like a shitty life since then. And I'm just like, be nice to the fucking, be nice
I like
to the
that.
poor
I like
kid.
that movie too. I enjoyed that one as well. That might be my favorite Star Wars that I've seen. Like, I remember going and seeing it in the theaters, and I actually found that the trade talk stuff was like extremely boring.
Part.
Like, it was.
That's my favorite part.
It was really boring to me, especially my age, like the age of the time. But I remember being like entertained by a large portions of that movie for sure.
Yeah, I was kind of intelligent, really into trade politics and stuff like that when I was 14, and I loved it.
Yeah,
loved it. This guy
just like, oh, this is kind of like, yeah, you were like noticing the like how this is kind of like an allegory type.
This is
situation.
like fucking NAFTA.
Turning around to people in the theaters as a 14-year-old, this is like NAFTA. Am I not crazy here, right? This is like NAFTA kind of.
To be clear, you think that forcing her to watch something that she's told you she dislikes will make her like that thing? Why? Why does she have to like something just because you do? This is weird fucking behavior. Grow up.
Well, that's too harsh. I mean, it's correct, but he's being too mean about it.
Well, then the OP does come back and goes, it's all in good fun. I can see you're not happily married. And I spent my whole life growing up. Thank you.
Okay.
I think he should allow his wife to go fuck somebody while he watches Star Wars all day. She just goes off and gets to fuck some.
And she has to do it in the room, but Star Wars is on.
Star Wars is on, yeah. Well,
he's enjoying Star Wars, and she's having sex with the guy on the couch next to him.
She's having sex with a bull while he enjoys Star Wars. Yeah. That's
or like that's he gets to a certain
reasonable
scene, like it's like, when like Luke like is in Yoda's cave or whatever, or is in Yoda's hut, And he pauses there, and then his wife is like Luke, and the guy she's fucking is Yoda, and they do the scene and they fuck each other. Like they like work in.
Yeah. Dress up a little bit maybe, but in the end, there's a huge fucking strapping, muscular, large penis bull who's having sex with her in front of her.
Well, the guy does come back and goes, because I don't take pleasure in forcing my wife to do something that she won't like. Wow. Okay. Now,
so he's saying he does have a wife. The second guy has a wife.
And now this wife here, he's not forcing me. I don't.
Oh, the wife. God. Wait a second. I mean, there's no photo evidence.
Did the wife really chime in?
Yes.
But I mean, Mitch, yeah, like as far as we know, but also it's, I don't know if you're familiar with the internet, it's pretty easy to start a different account and say, hey, wife here.
And Reddit is such a website for a guy that would do that.
Yeah,
too.
totally.
You know?
I'm not saying, I mean, most likely it is his wife, actually, you know.
It's the liar website.
Yeah.
Reddit is the liar website. It's where all the liars go and lie.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah.
like, so
100%.
yeah, wife here. He's not forcing me. I don't hate Star Wars. I even worked on a Star Wars collection for a bit. Don't know what that is. I haven't gotten into the new Star Wars stuff because I just don't care. It's his birthday. I'm doing this because it makes him happy, and seeing him happy makes me happy. Very nice thing to say.
That's kind of nice.
And then
that is kind of nice.
Then OP comes back and goes, way to try to take shots, kiddo. It's her idea, and she likes it because it makes me happy.
Okay, well, now this guy's coming in being like, hey, nice try. So now I do think he's lying, and that was him posting as his wife. Or as his wife. I don't even know. I mean, who knows? The whole thing could be nonsense.
He goes, it makes me happy. I do the same on her birthday. One day when you grow up, you'll find out what it takes to be in a happy marriage. But somehow I don't think you're married, or at least happily married. Good luck, kid.
Keeps calling him kid, really.
The guy
like
replies and goes,
infantilizing
Jesus
him.
fucking Christ. Look at the language you use in a post here. Even unconsciously, you'd be trying to make yourself look good. I get she actively does not like. She cannot find the same love I have for Star Wars. Make her. Second usage. Those are quotes. And he goes, the person in an unhappy marriage is your wife. I'm almost certain that the reason she agrees to the utterly juvenile I get to do whatever I want on my birthday is because it reduces the amount of time in the rest of the year that you try to force your taste onto her. Reduces definitely does not stop. Part of a good, long-lasting, happy marriage is understanding that your spouse is a different person with some different interests to you. Obviously, in a long-term relationship, a large percentage of your tastes, interests, beliefs, whatever will align, but being okay with them not liking something you don't like or vice versa is important, just like my wife and I with the bear.
But he's right. He's right about that. He's right about it. If it's just a fun little thing that they're doing on the birthday, then that's totally cool. But it is true. Like, you don't want, like, it sounds like it is actually important to him to be like, how do I make her like this? And that is a thing where it's like, you shouldn't really be doing that. That's weird behavior. Yeah.
There is. It's just a reminder that IMDb did a good job shutting down its message boards. Like this never should have come back in any sort of way. This is like the main. I've been on the Twisted Metal subreddit because I am not going back next season, and it's fun to see the Twisted Metal diehard. Twisted Metal guys is too niche of a thing to even talk about.
Oh, guaranteed not. There's some of the stuff. I mean,
Twisted Metal guys are fucking out of their mind, and now there's so many people on there who are like, it's good that guy is not on the show anymore. So I'm like, why am I looking at this? Why am I looking at any of this shit? But it's so much lying to yourself. And I think that's a lot of that was with Star Wars too. It's just, they're lying to themselves because they still love this thing.
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm gonna try to take care of this cat in some way because he's been going fucking insane. I'm so sorry.
No, don't apologize.
The guy goes, one thing, he goes, your wife probably dreads your birthday every year. That guy replies and goes, dude, is your wife my girlfriend? She also hates all the same stuff on my birthday. I do exactly the same thing. Watch something she never would. Last year was Lord of the Rings. So there's a guy that does it, another guy that does it. And he goes, it's a great tradition. My wife and I love almost all the same stuff, except she has never given a Star Wars a chance. We do a Lord of the Rings marathon every Christmas, Firefly on Thanksgiving, and I get to watch A Walk to Remember on her birthday. It all works out.
That's a classic chick flick. Yeah, I was going to ask what he watches on her. A Walk to Remember. Who's in that one?
Keanu Reeves? Is that a Keanu Reeves?
Yeah,
if I'm right about that, I'll feel so good about myself.
I think it might be Keanu Reeves. Let's see.
Oh, Shane West, actually, a guy I've never heard of. So never mind. No Keanu Reeves. It is a 2003 movie. This guy goes, "You're lucky. My wife won't watch Star Wars either, even on my birthday. She thinks she's compromising by offering to cosplay my favorite Star Wars characters during sexy time. I should tell her I like Greedo, LOL."
Wait, why? Why should you tell her you like Greedo?
Oh, know. Because he wants to fuck Greedo.
He wants to fuck Greedo, I guess.
I guess he wants to fuck
that's
Greedo.
The answer to it.
Hey, here's a guy that doesn't understand how many hours are in a day. I'd watch all the movies, either the original trilogy first or the prequels. I'd make sure to show her the first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian, Rogue One, and Andor. The animated shows like The Clone Wars have many good parts, but they're quite long and have some boring episodes or seasons. So I'd watch those last if you're interested in more Star Wars. I'm like, bro, how long do you think they're going to do this for?
Yeah, they have to like eat and go to the washroom too. It's not going to be like a full. Imagine he's just like, from 12 a.m. until 11:59 p.m. You know, like get yourself a couple of diapers, like it's fucking, the ball dropping in New York City. We're doing this for 24 straight hours.
This is the other issue now, is that there's just too much. There's too much. There's just too much stuff altogether.
We got to stop. We got to stop interconnecting things. It's got to end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But that's what these guys love. That's what they love the most, though. They love the idea of this lore and picking it apart and like, like furthering it and doing all of that stuff. It's just not the way we are. But these guys want it all connected. If you like don't have it connected, it makes them angry, right? Like,
yeah. I mean, they would freak out if like Luke Skywalker showed up in a Marvel movie. For sure. They would be like,
that's the worst.
We gotta connect these two together.
Whereas I would be fucking standing in the theater cheering. You know me. You know if Luke showed up, that's going to be like Brian said in Doomsday. It is just, that's what they're making the movie for. For people to just be like, yeah, like cheering. They want to have to have the warnings at the theaters, like no throwing things at the screen and all of that shit. That's the whole purpose of that movie.
And this last guy goes, the best and most efficient is Rogue One, 4, 5, and 6. That's it. That's all. But do you really need her to even like it? I mean, she would probably be happier if you decided to scrap the needless waste of time watching Star Wars for the 100th time and just go to dinner and stick it in her later that evening.
Oh, I was like, hey, this guy's a breath of fresh air. This guy this guy knows what he's talking about, and then you just stick it in her later.
Got to stick it in her later on.
Yeah.
That guy's probably
also
a
just
real
a guy like
charm.
that. There's just a guy who's on the Star. Even just, I'm shocked that he even can say "stick it in." I'm surprised that it just seems like a totally different type of guy.
Yeah. But it speaks to what you're saying. How there's just so many Star Wars guys now. They kind of come in all, Yeah.
I think Star Wars from the beginning was a pervert thing, though, too. Like, there is that scene that these guys all have said, I whacked off to it. You know what I mean? And Return of the Jedi, when Princess Leia's in whatever that costume is. Like
Slave Leia costume, yes.
Right. And you have heard every single Star Wars guy at least once be like, I whacked off to that's the first time I ever whacked off in my life. Yeah. And not like me. I was looking at real porn.
You were watching Roseanne, I think, is what you told me.
That's true. That was. Why'd you say that?
I just remembered.
Why'd you remind me of like the worst day of my life? I
just remembered you saying one of the first times you whacked off was to Roseanne,
and my friends caught me.
Yeah.
And then they stood outside the window and looked in at me and said, Brian's whacking off. Brian's whacking off.
Did they see what you were whacking off to?
Well, they asked when I came back. Because so then I was like, I'm not going outside for a few days. And I didn't go outside for like 3 days to play.
Yeah.
And then when I came back.
I bet you didn't.
I stayed in the house and whacked off for 3 days.
Yeah.
But when I went back out, somebody was like, so what were you watching down there? And I said, Roseanne. And then they just made fun of me for another day and then dropped it.
Oh, that's lucky. That's lucky.
Were you jacking off to Roseanne, or was it
No, I think I was jacking off to to like, listen, I'm going to say it. I was young. Darlene, probably.
Darlene.
Sure. That's what I was thinking.
Darlene? Because when I was a kid, I think it was Becky.
She was older than me.
Okay, but I think Becky was the one, especially when we talked about on SNL.
Okay, I have non-conventional tastes, Chris.
Sarah Chalk, who was the second Becky, I think probably Canadian actress. I think probably that was the person when I was a kid that I found definitely not. I liked Darlene. I found her the funniest.
Chris is like, I only whack off to Canadians.
Yeah, I whack off to CanCon exclusively. Yeah.
It's hard jacking off. Yeah, Darlene's funny, so you're like jacking off, and then you start laughing as you're jacking
She's
off.
Cracking,
it kind of throws you off a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think I was actually, be honest, I was just jacking off. You know what I mean? Because
it was up on the screen, really.
That's when I figured out you didn't need a book to jack off. Because I told you I first started out by rubbing a book on my penis.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like one time reading a book and it slid down my penis and it felt good. And I was like, oh, shit, I got to do that again. I kept doing that. And then I figured out like, well, I could just do that with my hand.
Yeah, my hand is like a better version of a book.
Always. That's the day I quit reading.
Mine was the WHDH news lady, and I went into my shower. I've told this before on my podcast, but my dad came in as I was like nutting. Basically, he walked in the shower. I remember he opened I was like I was finishing, and I saw my dad's like foot. He was coming in the shower, and then. So basically the first time I came, I like saw him, and then his feet. He was stepping in the shower. And then later, I like did manage to like be like, hey, like what were you doing? Like I was like, what were you doing? You know, like why were you coming in the shower? And he said that he thought my mom was in there, so that was like an added layer of like he was like trying to come in to like be with my mom or whatever. Oh, disgusting.
That is a tough first whack, I gotta say.
It was but you know what, even like Slave Leia, like it never came I like Brian, like I get like, like rubbing a book against your dick and like as horny as I was, it was never like a thing to be like, I need to like jack off to Slave Leia or what, you know what I mean? Like it was never a thing that I like was like, I'm going to pause Return of the Jedi and jack off to this or whatever. I mean, maybe I did, but it wasn't like that.
It's funny you say that.
Yeah,
Mitch, it's really funny you say that because I talked about this. I've talked about this on another show I do that. So I went to this wrestling show when I was in LA. I went to Revolution. It was like a big pay-per-view. And there was a guy sitting next to me. And when the women came out, he was like, ooh, damn, baddie. Every time they did a move, he would be like, damn, she hot. And I just wanted to turn around to him and say, listen, we know there are some guys in here that are horny but we're not doing that anymore. You got to keep that to yourself. We don't want to have the conversation about people being like, I don't want to. I personally, when I watch wrestling, I'm watching wrestling. I'm not like watching to whack off to it. And I know that there are guys that are watching women's wrestling to whack off to it, but I want those guys to be quiet about it because like it makes everybody look bad.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And they are way too horny about. I mean, they just the number of guys who have made their girlfriends dress up as Leia from that scene over the course of time. It's embarrassing. Like, we get it. She's in a bikini or whatever. It's like Carrie Fisher's in a bikini. All right. I get that you're horny for that.
This is off of Wikipedia.
Brian, sorry, I almost called you Stefan there.
I'm a lot like Stefan.
Brian, you never like whacked off to like Sable.
No, well, listen, I thought about Sable and stuff whacking. I was young.
But what about when she
time.
did when she did the
women's wrestling was different than it is now.
You're totally right about that. When there was like Jerry the King Lawler being like puppies, like
that's not what we're watching. anymore.
No, it's true. There's like real good technical women wrestlers now. I know, I understand. It's totally different. Yeah.
This is from Wikipedia. The guy goes, if you were a Jedi who survived Order 66, how would you live your life during the Empire's reign?
I don't understand what that means.
I almost like this. I almost like this sort of guy more.
Yeah, me too.
This to me is like this was the fun Star Wars, and there's a lot of people who are like, I respect Jason Mantzoukas, and he's like, I watched all of like the Clone Wars and stuff like that, and all the animated series stuff, and I'm like, there is like and like I know Sean Diston loves like some of the weird lore and some of the deeper Star Wars stuff, and there's guys like this that I'm like, this is fine. This could live on forever to me, and it's a good question, honestly.
Well, Order 66 is when they were ordered to kill all the Jedis, Chris.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you would be a Jedi that lived.
So he would have to be like people would still be trying to kill you, presumably, afterwards?
Yeah, which is what makes the answers to this question very funny, because a lot of these guys are cowards in a fantasy world.
Oh, like even in their own fantasy, they're not brave.
He goes, from the comfort of my own home, I can confidently answer that I'd be on a remote planet living a peaceful life. I do think, though, that part of being a Jedi is having that inherent moral compass and the attached desire to act on it whenever something evil or unfortunate occurs. I wouldn't be able to help but use the Force to, say, save a civilian from a wild animal or prevent a horrible vehicle accident. As concealed as I'd like to say I'd be, it's unlikely that anybody raised a Jedi could resist the urge to do right, except Obi-Wan Kenobi, who had no problem letting that other Jedi die. Rest in peace. So this guy says, I would just stay home all the time.
Well, he'd go to a safe planet, but if sees like an animal is going to be hurt, he would use the Force or whatever. I mean, this is a very honorable Jedi.
I like this guy. Okay, but legitimately, I'd most likely try to get a job on some planet.
This is your fantasy. You can go. I guess they're answering honestly. They're not trying to fantasize really, but still, you'd think something a little more interesting than getting a 9 to 5.
He says I'd get a job on a planet that wouldn't catch the Empire's focus. I don't have to deal with them, and I still can try to help out the people there if they catch wind of me, though. I think I'm probably screwed unless I flee the planet. I'm not very good at hiding that sort of thing. So this guy's like, I'm so good.
What do you mean you're not very good at hiding that sort of thing? I don't understand.
He's a good person.
Oh, just in general, like in
real life.
In real life, he's not. Okay.
Yeah, this guy. Ideally, I would catch Order 66 and be able to turn my clones back by removing or otherwise neutralizing their inhibitor chips. Unrealistic, yes, but this is the best case scenario.
You know what? I give it to this guy, though, because he at least is like, unlike everyone else who loves fantasy and sci-fi and on these message boards talking about this stuff, and then what they would do is go be the version of themselves, but in Star Wars. This guy at least is doing something that's really like a... That's so funny to be like, you could do anything you want. You could fly to a weird planet and live out your days. And he's like, nah, I just like go home and like post on Star Wars version of Reddit and work at the Star Wars version of my job. It's like, you can do anything. You can do anything you want.
I know. And I love these Wikipedia guys. This next one is a question a guy asked. And this is kind of long, but you got to bear with me. You know, I see this complaint about the Galactic Empire in regards to the Death Star. It's always, it's such a big waste of money and resources, or some kind of variant to that effect. But then I'm thinking to myself, is it really? What? Because upon completion by A New Hope, it was destroyed by Luke Skywalker, who was a Force sensitive, who made a 1 in a million shot that no one, not even a computer, could have predicted. People bring up that 2-meter wide exhaust port that was hit by a special pilot moving at the high speed as a reason the Death Star was a waste, as if that's some common occurrence that can just happen. People also bring up the exhaust port as if it's some gigantic design flaw, except no, because there were other exhaust ports. And do you know what an exhaust does? That's right, it expels harmful things. Why would they completely button up the battle station? That's just asking for a disaster waiting to happen. So this guy, he gives a long take about why it was a really good investment. But he goes, but there's a part of it that made me laugh. He goes, take away the super laser for a moment, folks, and what do you have? So this is, if it didn't have a super laser, this is what you'd have on a Death Star. And the first thing it says, a place where high Imperial command could meet and discuss. And when I saw that, all I could think about was Trump's ballroom. It's the guy that made the Star Wars argument for Trump's ballroom.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah. So this guy goes, so that was his whole thing. But then I got, let's get some reviews in here, because I did not read reviews of all of the movies on Rotten Tomatoes because I didn't feel like that was possible. And I wanted to get some on the show. So what I did was I went to Rotten Tomatoes and I read the reviews of the first in each trilogy. So A New Hope, Phantom Menace, and The Force Awakens. And they were weird. This is for A New Hope. This guy goes...
This is the original Star Wars, right?
Yeah. This guy gives it 2 stars. Listen, this film is very important in film history, and my favorite films would probably not exist without it, but it is very boring and even predictable because of how much movies have used its structure.
I see. That does happen sometimes, I will say, to like classic movies that a lot of movies become derivative of, and then if you go back and watch them, and then you're just like, oh, this movie feels derivative now.
But you have that content. This guy has that context.
Yeah, he knows that. Yeah,
he knows. So what is what like then what is why is he not taking that into account? This is the thing that drives me nuts about like when you go at someone for being like the later Star Wars are not good. And then they'll be like, well, actually, the originals aren't good. And it's like, so you just don't like it, but you're choosing to like the ones that came later. Like, what is going on here? What is the point of this?
Yeah. I read a lot of reviews that aren't going to be in this episode, but I've never seen this with any other movie that we've covered other movies and TV shows, mostly like Seth MacFarlane stuff or Kevin Smith stuff. But we have covered this stuff. And this is the first time I've ever seen this phenomenon of guys like reviewing old movies and saying that they don't like them because they're old. Like, I think it's crazy to say that Star Wars doesn't look good. They're like the special effects and stuff. Star Wars doesn't look good. And it's like, that's an insane thing to say because it looks better than the movies they're making now.
1,000%.
A New Hope.
Yeah.
It looks way better than Mandalorian Grogu, which we said looks like a Toyota ad or whatever. Like they look better. They do.
Yeah. And also like there's limitations that you're well aware of that don't necessarily make it like look worse, but yeah, it's not going to look probably as realistic. I think that's probably what the guys are getting hung up on, is that it's like, but I guess it's not, it's Star Wars. So but none of it's realistic. Like none of it looks real. You know what I mean? Like it's all made up fantasy stuff. So it's like, yeah, that doesn't even really make sense in this case either.
But the original 3 movies look like they happened in a place. Which you can't say about a lot of movies now.
No, and Mandalorian Grogu has this issue, and this was another thing when I went and saw it. Like you were saying, there's a guy in a helmet, and then like, so you're watching this guy in a helmet who's not really Pedro Pascal. It's this other like stunt performer guy. It's just a guy, and then he's looking at like a buff Jabba the Hutt who's not really there, and I'm like, so I'm just like watching. What I'm looking at is like, this is like a film set with nothing. There's no one there. There's not even it's like watching AI in a way. It's like it's the closest thing to watching an AI movie in that there's no real, the actor that's playing this role isn't on set. And then the other actor isn't even there either. You're like watching nothing or whatever. Honestly, the best part of Mandalorian Grogu is like seeing the puppet waddle around by itself, and that comes later on in the movie or whatever. But it's like you're just seeing nothing. And then with the originals, you're right. Like hell, it's Mark Hamill, and there is like a Yoda puppet or whatever. You're like actually and that there is a set built, and you're like seeing actual things. Yeah. And that's such a huge difference to me.
That's a Jack Allison thing that I never realized until he said it. I forget what movie he was talking about, but I remember him saying this, and he was like, all the Marvel movies are just people talking in rooms. And I was like, oh my fucking God. I never realized how many movies now, and it sounds like a dumb complaint that's just people talking in rooms, but it really is just people, because that was my critique of Sons of Anarchy. I was like, every season there's like 6 episodes that are just about a meeting, and then they have the meeting and the meeting's over and then the episode's done, and it's so boring. You know what I mean? You got a 90-minute episode of a fucking TV show that's all about a meeting.
Yeah.
And they just sit there and talk. And it's probably because, like, early in the season, they blew something up with a bazooka. And that ate up some of their budget. So we're like, we got to do a couple meeting episodes.
Yeah. Marvel. I noticed that with Marvel TV shows where I like completely checked out of watching any Marvel TV shows because it was just like, yeah, so much of it is just them discussing things that are happening or whatever. And so little of it is actually the things happening. And yeah, it becomes extremely, extremely boring. And it's almost like, yeah, it makes you wonder, are people really going to be upset if there's too much action in these things? Like, that's what it felt like, where they're just like, oh, no, we don't want to oversaturate it. It's like, no, that's why people are watching this stuff. There's other movies to watch if you want to see people talking and, like, doing acting and stuff like that, you know?
Do you guys watch House of the Dragon at all? Do you watch that show?
No, I haven't.
They had one of those episodes last night that was like, we've had, like, 2 big action episodes, and now it's like, what's going on at the like there's a lot going on at the castle. we gotta fix what's going on at the castle. It was one of those episodes where you're like, oh, all right, yeah, there's too many mice and there's rats in the castle, and they have to change the furniture in the castle, and you're just nodding along, and I'm like, what am I doing? Why am I watching this? But I guess, like, you know, you can but it is funny that, like, it's like, yeah, storytelling, you can't always do huge action, and it's got to be leveled out, but I feel like so much of it does just turn into meetings or like upkeep of the house or whatever. And you're like, I don't want to fucking watch this.
I feel like you can't do action all the time. I agree. You have to do storytelling, but it's like having the entire episode not have any of that. Maybe one little thing at the end, and it's like, no, this show is an action fighting show. You know, you can have the stuff in between, but all of the episodes should center around the action and the fighting. Yeah.
I mean, it's interesting because, like, I think one of the reasons, because nobody likes any of those Marvel TV shows, and it's because they're immediately on a second tier because they can't get anybody from the movies in them. They can't get any, like, they can't have Thor on any of them. It's just fucking some random side guys.
Yeah, it's Thor's friend or whatever the fuck. It's like, that's it's like, all right.
And it's the same thing with
Star
Wars.
Thor. You'll be like on the phone with Thor sometimes, and he's like, "Oh, what's that, Thor? Like, you want me to tell them what?
Oh, you're crazy, Thor." But, like, Star Wars, I find it interesting that, like, one of the more successful Star Wars things, like, acclaimed, is Andor, and it just so happens to have a guy from the movie in the show. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, you know, maybe people want to see the guys that they have been going to pay to go to the movies to see a lot
of course,
in the movies about it. I don't care about cleanup.
I saw that.
I gotta watch Andor as a guy who did love Star Wars, but this is the thing. I don't love Star Wars anymore. It's over for me. Like that. Like its time has passed for me.
I think you'd like it as a good TV show because I watched it before I watched any of the Star Wars movies, I think, and I loved it. Yeah. It just I didn't know anything about Star Wars. I watched it, and it's like that's what made me kind of, I think, watch them all. Was that I watched that first season of Andor, and I was like, "Fuck, this is good." It's like, it's really smart, and a lot of the fans, the big Star Wars fans, don't like it as much because Tony Gilroy is not a Star Wars fan, and that makes them sick that he's making a Star Wars movie. So it makes him so. This guy gave it 4 stars, and he just said, "Good movie, I think."
He might have maybe didn't see it all.
He's factored into the rating, though. That's what I like about stuff like this. It's like when you look at the rating, that guy's factored in just as much as, like, another guy who has, like, a real legitimate, like, review of the movie. This guy goes,
this is the issue with all. This is the issue. Like, I don't know how, if you guys are on Letterboxd at all or whatever, but I went and saw Jaws over the 4th of July weekend, and I was like, oh, it's like a perfect movie. And then you go into Letterboxd and you just see people be like 3 stars, and you're like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
And I know that it's all subjective, whatever, but, like, wasn't it better when, like, we didn't have to like, why am I looking at people rating it 3 stars? Why am I even seeing it? Why do people a lot of us just shouldn't even be able to talk about this, including me. I shouldn't be able to talk about it either.
No,
you have more of a. You have done stuff.
You've done movies. You've been in movies before. I've seen you in a movie before, Mitch. So you have more. You have a little bit more, cachet.
No one likes my Star Wars takes, and then my takes are that Star Wars is now bad. I don't care about it at all anymore. And also the fact that like the guy who made it. I think that if you're the person who's making Star Wars, you can make it as good or bad as you want. And then once it's been handed over, like the creative force, I know that Lucas didn't direct all of it, but like once he's no longer the creative force, I don't care as much anymore. You know what I mean? Like that,
that is product at that point.
Yeah.
And the thing is, we read reviews on almost every episode. I mean, if there's nothing to review, and I think the thing we've kind of learned over time is like people that write reviews are psychos, like all of them. Like
that's also true.
The regular guy, who
maybe not
goes
on Letterboxd,
to the movies,
maybe not on Letterboxd, but on the different sites,
on Rotten
like
Tomatoes.
Rotten Tomatoes. If you go do audience score on Rotten Tomatoes, which has been co-opted by the corporations,
that's not true.
I always have to say that
I have the utmost respect for it.
Something going wrong with it because there's movies that have like 99% audience score and there's just no way. But yeah, the people who are reviewing it, oftentimes you're like, well, no, you can't listen to the audience score because if you read what they're saying, then you're like, you didn't even get what's going on in the movie at all. Why is your review being counted? Like,
well, you'll love this guy's review, 2.5 stars. Yeah, I do need to rewatch this movie, but I feel my review wouldn't change much. From the pacing to the graphics to the story itself, it just felt plain and not very fun to watch. I think it's a good start to the series, and a 2-star isn't a bad out of 10. I would give it a 4. So a little below average, but not bad, and a necessity in the Star Wars franchise.
So he hasn't watched it. Like he hasn't watched it in a long time.
Yeah.
He's just like going
that
by
guy
memory.
Should just be like, if you saw that someone saying that out loud, that you put them like in a mental hospital.
Yeah. If your grandpa started talking like that,
you're like, are you okay, man? This is for Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. 1.5 stars. The beginning of the end, except with no giant grasshoppers. Don't know what that is. Star Wars, for some reason, is not about wars. A feeble attempt to recreate Star Wars exclusively into a family-friendly children's franchise. Watch George Lucas piss on his own art in praise of Mammon. Any small children born at the time of this movie's release who grew to like it should have CPS called on their parents. The villains do nothing. The chief bad guy has an incredibly generic name and mediocre 6.5 staff skills. If it weren't for face paint and plastic horns, he would have no talent.
Is that Darth Maul?
Yeah.
he's a pretty badass villain, wasn't he?
I felt like he was, but
I felt like he was as well, but he had a bad name. He's judging the movie on the name. I guess so. You could judge it on the name of the character a little bit, but Darth Maul is
kills the Jedi. He does a pretty good job. Like what are they and then he dies he's a villain and he gets killed.
Yeah, Darth Maul is a cool name too. I don't know. It sounds like a pretty fucking cool name for like he'll maul you, you know? Like I know not what it means, but it's like it has kind of like tough connotations to it. I like it. I think it's a good name.
That to me is also like the last bit of like
good
creative
start. Second best lightsaber fight. Goated.
So
I thought we lost you. I thought we cut out, Mitch. Sorry.
Yeah, you cut out for us for a second.
I was going to say Darth Maul is like the last bit of creative kind of new character that, I mean, also, by the way, one of like the most memorable Star Wars characters of all time, right? Now, if you look back on everything, he's up there, right? He's one of the few.
They're making a new TV show about him, though. So that's something. This guy gives it... he goes, goated characters. Jar Jar isn't as bad as people say, and the politics aren't dumb. But I'll say this. He did spell it Polotics. So
could be a typo.
Yeah, could be. 3.5 stars.
He's a Jar Jar defender, because I have seen, I guess, though, the context I saw it in was kind of like biased, because I wanted to see the guy who does the Jar Jar voice doing the Jar Jar voice.
Yeah.
I wanted to see him like saying it, like I want to, and then so I found these like interviews with him or whatever at like conventions and shit, and it was people commenting on those. So they would be like people who are obviously fans of his or whatever, but they seem to say like that Jar Jar's actually like, that tends to happen too though. A character's like so hated, and then it becomes kind of cool to be like, Jar Jar's my favorite character in Star Wars, like he's actually the best.
I would say that
another character who's almost killed himself because of Star Wars has gotten like so many actors to like almost kill themselves or go crazy over the course of time. Maybe Star Wars is just is bad in that way, where it's like it almost killed Harrison Ford. You can make a case that it killed Carrie Fisher. The poor kid from Star Wars like went crazy. The young Anakin. And then also Jar Jar like almost fucking killed himself. It's like maybe
it's not good.
Maybe it's good if these things never got made.
Yeah, maybe it's starting to remind. Maybe it's kind of like the NFL. Like it's fun to watch, we enjoy it, but maybe it's not actually good. The
CTE of Star Wars is just if you're in it, it's just the thing that follows you for all of time. Mark Hamill is like, I guess he is, like you're saying, he's posting these AI fucking tweets and everything like that. He's lost his mind too.
Like you would know a little bit more, like you said, going on the Twisted Metal like forums and stuff like that. You've been in stuff that like people are big fans of and stuff like that, and so you kind of see when people become too obsessed with it, it's like everywhere you're going they're like saying the same shit to you or like coming down. Like imagine what that's like for a Star Wars person with this kind of fandom. It must just be fucking exhausting all
for Twisted
the time.
Metal. For Twisted Metal, it's 7 guys total that are like out of their mind, and I'm like, Star Wars is like there's 1 million of those guys.
Yeah,
and just constantly talking about it.
That's true. Like it is like, even like I went to, they do a Galaxy Con thing. It's like a convention here, but wrestling goes to it every year. So I always go over to it because I live close to the convention center.
When you say wrestling goes to it, what do you mean by that?
They do an AEW show there on the Saturday night of the thing.
Okay.
And so I always go because it's cheap. And
I got what you meant, kind of, which is like, I know exactly what you're talking about, sadly.
And I go over there to see it. Maybe take a little crap while I'm there.
I think, at the old convention center.
But there's a convention there. And I went one year, and I'll tell you, I've said this before. Like, I don't... Listen, it looked like people were having a really good, the like actors and stuff were having a good time. Like I saw Thomas Lennon and he was like dressed as Officer Dangle and he looked to be legitimately having a good time. But I also saw Kiefer Sutherland and I was like, why is he doing? You can't do this to that guy.
But that's crazy.
He's been in so much stuff.
But Thomas Lennon too. Why is Thomas Lennon there? Thomas Lennon's in a lot of stuff too, and he's like a producer and produced like the Night at the Museum movies and shit, like or made those movies. Like I feel like he shouldn't have to do that. I think he maybe likes doing stuff like that if he's showing up to. Yeah.
It seems like he enjoyed it. He's dressed up as the character. He's having a good time.
He's doing improv and shit as the character, kind of. He's like a funny guy who probably likes to, like have people laughing and stuff. That kind of makes more sense. But you're like sad Kiefer Sutherland, just like gloomy ass dude.
I think that this just like this is like the sad thing with all actors. I remember I saw Thomas Lennon backstage at UCB and he was changing into his like Officer Dangle clothes or whatever, and he was like and it was me and my sketch group, the Birthday Boys, and he was like, guys, it never stops, like it never ends. It was kind of like a warning, and you're like, oh shit. And I think that is the way, like even Kiefer Sutherland isn't like no one can get away at the end of the day. No one can get away from it. Mark Hamill too. It's like, we all chose this embarrassing thing that we have to do for the rest of our lives, and you just gotta do it. It sucks.
Yeah. The reason I brought it up is because Hayden Christensen was there that year, and they had him. They had like a big setup of curtains, so you couldn't see him unless you paid money to go into the curtain and take a picture with him. And I was like, that is like Hayden Christensen over like Kiefer Sutherland's just sitting in a regular booth next to some guy that voices an anime. And Hayden Christensen is in like, for all intents and purposes, a tent in a convention center.
Because in that world, he is the bigger star. Yeah, that is so bizarre and weird how that is. That's how powerful the Star Wars fandom is. Yeah,
and the line is just
but at the end of the day, long. You know what I mean? You could be in the best tent, but you're still there. You could be in the prettiest tent there is, but you're still going to be at this fucking bullshit. Which sucks.
Yeah, it sucks.
But you know what? I would want that nice tent. I do want that. That something to aspire to.
It is crazy though. At those conventions, it's kind of like they have to like really have security on it because guys will just sneak up and take a picture, and they're like, no, you can't just take a picture of me because I'm here.
Yeah.
You have to stand next to me, and then we take the picture.
That's a classic move, though.
That's
something old Mr. Cheapy Refund might actually.
Mr. Cheapy Refund.
That's my new nickname on the podcast. That's something I might pull off, where you just like slide up next to him and then get the picture taken by your friend and not pay the money for it.
We did that thing on the Cruise Guys episode where there was like a tour happening in some city, and one of the guys that paid for the tour got really mad because there was a couple just kind of following a little bit behind it,
like a walking tour, around the city where they're talking about all the sights and sounds and stuff, and some people just figured out like, hey, I don't need to pay for this, I can just stand in the general vicinity of them and I can hear what he said.
You hear what the guy says. It's fine. I'm going to Boston and soon, and I told my wife, I was like, we could follow a tour group around for free and just listen to them talk.
Just find out what the tour group is. I mean, what are they gonna like? They can try to shoo you away, but it's like a public space, right? So
it will be that sort of thing where they're like, I don't really want to like yell at this guy in front of like the tour that I'm doing right now. I would rather just let this fucking guy follow me around.
Exactly.
It's so cheap though. You're the cheapest guy in the world if you do that.
Well, nowadays though, honestly, I mean, who can fault someone?
Money is just Star Wars: The Force Awakens. 1.5 stars. Well, it was a family reunion movie, and I watched it all, even though it was stupid.
So which one is this? This is the one where he came back as the old people all came back?
Yeah. And then this one is a 1-star review of that. Waited almost 11 years to make this review. And that time I haven't watched this movie once.
That's weird. It's odd. He's just been thinking about his review?
Yeah. I remember at the time I wanted to burn all of my Star Wars items over decades of fandom, from models to action figures to cards to even a full-size Vader costume. I wanted to burn it all. Since that time, I still feel the same. 11 years of that. This
shit. It's miserable. It is the NFL. It's the NFL. You're right. The NFL thing. We should feel bad about this because it's not only it's like made the actors go crazy, but the people who actually like the movies also it's bad for all of them. It's like if you watch the NFL and you also got CTE, it feels like it's like what the
yeah, it does feel like anytime you get these stuff where you get so obsessed with it, where it's like when stuff doesn't turn out exactly the way you want, or honestly when just like your life doesn't turn out the way you want it to, and then that's your outlet to be like angry or whatever, that it's just like it really does feel like it ruins some of these guys. Like it is just a film. I know that it has all these other things or whatever, but it's just a film. They make hundreds of these a year. They make all kinds of different sci-fi movies, and it probably would be healthy for them to like think of it a bit more like that. But I know it's hard. I understand. I guess it's hard.
I think that we have accepted. I don't know when it happened, but we have sort of accepted that fandom is a personality trait. And it feels like most people are trying to find themselves into some sort of fandom as a sense of community. You can, because listen, I'm not above it at all. Like I said, I watch wrestling every week. I'm insane about wrestling. And I sit in a group chat and I talk to people about it. And it's like a thing that we all watch, and it's a thing we all understand.
Yeah.
And like, that's very fun. I don't get like super mad at it though. Like I don't like start tearing my hair out if they don't do what I want them to do.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't watch the stuff that you don't like. Like, you don't like WWE, so you just don't watch it. And you found the one that you like, and you watch that, and you know when it's bad. Like, I talk to you about it sometimes. You admit you don't like to talk about it publicly, but you admit when AEW is kind of missed the mark.
I'm trying to get a
on
goddamn
a show.
job there.
Yeah, you're trying
to
get
be
a job.
the best booker of all time.
Yeah, I understand, but yeah,
I would love for you to work over there. I think as you get older, just not being. I think that's why you like when you see a dad and you're like, what is my dad like? And you're like, he doesn't like as much stuff. And it's like, I think that's almost a good thing. Like as I get older, I was depressed all week because the Celtics traded Jaylen Brown. And I'm like, I can't like be doing that anymore when I'm like in my 40s. I can't be sad about like the Celtics organization trading Jaylen Brown. And that's the same thing I feel about Star Wars. Like, I got so mad about Star Wars throughout my 30s that I'm just like, I can't commit myself to it that much. I can't.
It can't make or break my mood. I mean, that's the thing, because I live in Columbus, Ohio. So I'm here when the Ohio State Buckeyes lose. And I think that has informed a lot of me as a person, because like I've been to parties that start out as a party and at the end people are like, fucking fuck this shit, and like pushing each other around, getting into fights, yelling at each other. Fucking
hell, you've been to parties where it ends up everybody starts having sex with each other upstairs, and then you apparently leave.
Then I leave. Yeah, but that happened before I even watched one Ohio State football game.
I used to be this, like, I'm a big sports guy too, Mitch, and I'm huge into soccer, and I used to really struggle with that, where I would get really, really, really sad for long periods of time. I will say that, like, I still love sports. I do have like a young kid now, so most of my like energy goes into that. And I will say that I've gotten really like a lot better at just being sad for about 1.5 hours after, you know, like where I'm just like, oh, what the like Canada lost in the World Cup, and I was like, you know, weeks ago, and I was like, oh man, that fucking sucks, and it bummed me out, and I was thinking about it for about 1.5 hours afterwards, and then I just like moved on, and you know, I was able to sort of get over it. And I think that's the ideal situation, because sports, for me, they fucking rule, and I love watching them. But I did feel for Celtics fans when Jaylen
Brown was rough. And then like I'm depressed about this, and then also like, you know, like at the same time, like my mortality and like friends and people I actually love could die within the next like 20 years or something. I'm like, I can't care, but I can't get sad about this on top, but there's nothing else to do. And then Star Wars is just now, I love movies, and I go to the movies and I get so mad about movies so often, and I don't like them. And Star Wars is just the bigger version of movie. Everyone knows Star Wars is it's a bigger version of movies, but we've put too much into it.
Well, I want to I know we got off of StarArs, and I apologize to there's some Star Wars fans right now pulling their hair out.
They're going to be okay.
Get back on the freaking...
Go on to Patreon. You will hear about Star Wars.
Yeah, we're gonna get into Mike Zero on the bonus episodes and his.
Yeah, we didn't want to have to explain Mike Zero to Mitch. Mike Zero is awesome, Mitch.
But we'll get into that on the bonus.
He's
episode.
A psycho.
I just wanted to know, Mitch, what you like. You were talking about you hate movies. What have you seen any movies lately that you do love?
Like any movies that I saw recently that I loved? Oh man, that's a great question.
Not coming to him very quickly. No.
I'll say this for me. I watched that Over Your Dead Body, and I found it to be fucking awesome.
That streaming movie. I still haven't got around to watching that one. I loved Obsession. I loved Obsession.
Gory.
I thought Obsession was really good.
Yeah, that Over Your Dead Body is so fucking gory that I gotta
watch. I'm excited to see Minions and Monsters soon. I guess
they didn't work with Hitler. So that was good. You won't feel problematic. This is Star Wars Dad Jokes. It's a book on Amazon.
Oh, I liked Hokum. I just saw Hokum and I liked Hokum.
Oh, people in the chat were telling us to watch Hokum. I have it on my Plex, by the way. I don't know if you remember.
You should.
So long ago, Mitch and I were on Go Off Kings, and Mitch made fun of me so much about I was using a USB stick to watch movies and putting it into my Xbox and then watching it on my TV that way. And I'll think about it so much. You're just like, get fucking Plex, you idiot! Like, what is wrong with you? and like a week later, I got Plex, and it really did change my life. So I want to thank you for that.
All right, good. I was all right. My assholeness paid off.
No, it was, and you were just goofing. It was all in that we were on a stream, so you were being funny. But yeah, I have it on my Plex, and I have heard that it's really, really good. And maybe I'll watch it tonight now.
I really like Hokum, and I saw Oddity, which you made before that, and I didn't love Oddity. And so I went into Hokum being like, I wonder. And then I really liked it. And then I've heard other people who don't like it. And I guess at the end of the day, it is all subjective.
Yeah.
But whatever. Star Wars did get really bad, and who cares?
Yeah.
And who cares? and Brian, I think that's the same thing I feel with you. It's like, why are we rooting for like this giant corporation that makes like a movie by committee is like what it's turned into, you know?
Yeah. Well, this joke book got 1 star from this lady. She goes, got this gift and the jokes didn't hit home at all. Not even in the dry sense. He was very unhappy. So I guess that also makes me an unhappy gift giver. I hope to try again.
Oh, that's one of the saddest reviews I've ever heard.
It is, because somebody told her the gift was bad.
Yeah, like somebody was really upset by this. You just say it's funny or would laugh at give a couple fake laughs at a few of the jokes.
Only children are allowed to say that the gift they don't like the gift. Yeah. No adult should say they don't like a gift. You just lie.
Yeah.
This guy gave it 1 star. Truly awful jokes. Husband hated it. I purchased this as a Father's Day gift for my husband, who is a Star Wars fan. The jokes were truly awful. Not funny at all. He hated the book, so I returned it.
Oh, brutal. Who are these husbands?
This is just speaking to the Star Wars fans being awful husband. Like it seems like in every scenario, they just are bad husbands.
It really is.
Or they're lying about it.
This guy goes, they know 2 stars. They know if it says Star Wars that you and obviously I will buy it. Maybe 10% of the jokes are funny, at least if you're an adult.
That's
Maybe
a pretty good hit rate.
That's not bad.
10% of the jokes is not bad.
I mean, I'm getting 35, but you get 10 at least.
Yeah.
At least if you're an adult, maybe they would be funnier to a 7-year-old. It's just one of those products.
Well, it's a children's fucking franchise. So yeah, maybe that's why. Yeah.
Well, he goes, it's just one of those products marketed to suckers like me who buy any garbage just because it's Star Wars. Don't do it. Learn from my mistakes.
He's having a little bit of realization there. I mean, his eyes are being opened a little bit, maybe, you know?
Yeah, and then this person just says 2 stars. Joke. It wasn't what I expected. I didn't like it. I don't know what they expected, but it seems very exciting. I would love to. That's the kind of thing I'd want to talk about. And now, before we go, I want to do one last thing.
It's a Star Wars joke book. What were you exactly expecting from it?
Yeah, maybe they were like short form sort of jokes. They were expecting some longer form, like Norm Macdonald style old jokes involving.
Maybe
Star
they wanted
Wars
pictures of Slave Leia to just jack off. Maybe that's what that's at the end of the day what they wanted.
Yeah. That's the book I'm buying. This is Trustpilot. I found this on Trustpilot. Lucasfilm has some reviews.
Okay, do you know Trustpilot, Mitch? Are you ever on there?
Yes, I know of it. Yeah, but I'm not on there.
Don't go on our page for our merch. We got one of the worst ratings on the entire site. It's crazy.
It's a website just for bad reviews. Like nobody gives good reviews on Trustpilot,
and it's mostly used by British people.
Yeah. This guy goes 1 star. This company needs razed to the ground. The company needs razed to the ground. How can a 1977 production be vastly superior to a 2026 one? I rest my case.
Well, he's kind of echoing what you guys were saying earlier.
This guy gives it 1 star and says horrible, terrible. That's all. And then this final guy, our final thing, 1 star. Honestly, Lucasfilm is garbage since 2012. Like, bro, seriously. How do you go from top tier class to woke flops? I get that before Disney bought it, they made some flops, but it's still much better than after George Lucas. Please buy it back. So there we go.
So, Mitch, I was gonna say that sounded like it could have been a review from you, except for the fact that you are woke probably, so you wouldn't hate the woke stuff, right?
Yeah, but sometimes in my reviews I'll let that slip in.
Okay.
They should watch the woke stuff. I want it to just be even. That's all.
Yeah, it's like it's woke, so you have to watch it now.
Yeah,
because it's woke. You can learn a lot from this. It is funny though, like that I watched those Star Wars movies. I didn't find them to be even woke, really.
I think I don't necessarily understand what those guys mean all the time. Yeah,
I think because there's a black person in it.
Yeah. That's often what it is. If there's a black or a character who has any connection to LGBTQ stuff, then it's woke.
Oh, it's so annoying when guys are like, it's woke, and then it's also annoying when on the other side when people are like, these are more progressive, and it's like Star Wars wasn't like there was a black actor in the original one, and there was like a cool like heroine lady. Like Princess Leia is cool. She fucking chokes Jabba the Hutt. Like this is the thing that is kind of more like, I mean, in that way, I'm not trying to both sides it or whatever, but people are just annoying and they will say whatever they want to say.
Well, Mitch, thank you for doing the show with us.
I love that I went out on kind of this.
No, you should. We all go out.
Star Wars actually had a black guy and a cool lady, and that's my last line of the podcast.
Hey, if you want to see Mitch,
we're out of time.
You can check out Mitch on Breitbart.com. It did make me laugh. Brian being like, well,
Mitch, thanks for doing the show. You're our wokest guest. Congratulations.
Oh, that's one of my favorite endings ever.
Listen
Star
to Mitch.
Wars, look, Star Wars is, we love it and also we hate it. Whatever. It's just the way life, and a lot of it is annoying, but I guess it's a good thing that it's in the world. And I'll go and see whatever comes out for the rest of the time, even though it's the Disney Corporation that's putting it out. But
yeah, you saw Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah. People can't get that. Like, you're out there actually doing that. None of us saw it. I'm talking about everybody listening. None of us saw it. Nobody. You're the only one.
No one saw that shit, and I went and saw it. So,
yeah, I mean, if you've seen, that's the thing too. It's like a lot of times I'll get mad at critiques from people who are like not doing the thing. You know what I mean? And you're like, okay, well, fuck you. You don't actually know anything.
Yeah.
But then again, a guy that does, like with wrestling, of course, is like, if somebody watches it, I'm like, oh, well, then you must know what's going on. But if they have an opinion counter to mine, I'm like, you don't know shit about what you're watching, dude.
Yeah.
Do you even understand? So I always bring up the history. I'm always like, you know what the history of this business was? But anyway.
Oh, buddy, I could talk to him about the history. I know about all the territory stuff. I'm a big history of wrestling kind of guy.
Not.
By the way, Brian, you given the seal of approval to the what is the Mandalorian? No, not the Mandalorian. The Andor.
Yeah,
the thumbs up to the Andor makes me. I've already gotten people who say it's good, but I'm gonna watch it. So now I'm gonna watch new Star Wars because of you.
You will like it. It's because it just isn't like it's Star Wars because there's spaceships and aliens. You know what I mean?
Which is the coolest part about Star Wars, honestly.
I know. Yeah. I know.
And it seems like a good story attached to that, and that's all that really matters.
Right. And it's like it's like a revolution. The politics are in it. They have like politics stuff, but also like the main character isn't like a politician and isn't part of the politics stuff. And he's out doing like revolutionary stuff. It's really good. I really liked it. I was way more woke at the time, but I think I'll still give it. I'm like 10% less woke.
It's Tony Gilroy, like who did like Michael Clayton and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like it has like a very, very competent and a serious man. Did he really do that as well? No, he didn't do that. Why is that on his
Coen Brothers?
I don't know.
Yeah, but that's for some reason on his little thing on Google.
I hate that when they do that. He was probably like he wrote or something. But Mitch is on Doughboys. Do you have anything else to plug?
No, check out Doughboys. Oh, you know what? Check out the Napa Boys and check out Maddie's Secret. And,
are you in Maddie's Secret?
I like for like literally 1 second I'm in Maddie's secret, but I'll plug it.
I've heard that's like we don't get it up in Canada yet, but I've like that's my wife and I are really excited to see that. I've heard it's super funny.
I was honored to be a part of it, and micro budget. I was trying to think of some of the stuff I've been in that, but yeah, check out all those indie movies, the non-Star Wars movie. Who maybe Napa Boys will be the next Star Wars. We'll see what happens.
That's true. My wife really I got to watch Napa Boys because she keeps bringing it up because she listens to you guys all the time. And
oh man, like, you might. I think you'll like it. It's insane.
Oh, I'm sure I will.
Your wife loves Doughboys and loves Mitch.
Yeah.
That's hey, my wife as well. Big. She said, "Oh, you gotta tell him how much I love him and stuff like that." And then she also wanted
embarrassed.
Yeah, she said, "Oh, I went to like meet some person at some like the coolest coffee shop, and like the thing that they had in common was that they both loved Doughboys. Like that was the thing that she talked about. This really cool like cafe owner or whatever. Yeah.
We never get that. We never get that any of that runoff like in real like we always hear like. My wife loves you, and then it's like I never see like I don't like at our shows. It's like 3 women will be in the audience.
I mean, we will come and see. I've talked to you about it in LA. If you come to Ohio at all, we're definitely gonna be there.
I went to a live show. I went to a live show at the Rio Theater and saw you and Weiger do Doughboys live, and it was fucking awesome.
Sick.
Well, we both love you guys. Yeah, Brian, if we're ever there, I mean, you gotta come on. That would be amazing.
I will be there. I would definitely love to at least even just see it. I haven't seen you guys live yet. All right. Well, we'll see y'all next week. Now I just talked myself into hopefully someday being on a Doughboys live show.
Fuck yeah. We would be lucky to have you. Thanks for having me, guys.
See ya.
Bye.